everyone, and thank you for joining the Latinos in Clinical Research Ambassadors Meeting, Education, Awareness, all the great things. We'll ask everyone to turn their audios on mute. Fantastic. Today we are going to have an engaging discussion, both with a co-founder, Ashley Margot, who is on the screen, as well as one of the Latino in Clinical Research First brand ambassador, Christine Naro. Hello, ladies. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Happy to be here. Super excited.
Wonderful. It's fantastic to have an audience here today, and I'm sure many of you are wondering what is the great work that Latinos in Clinical Research does, and how can we get more information? So I'll pass it to Ashley now. Ashley, would you like to share a little bit, as a co-founder of the organization, a little bit about the Latino in Clinical Research mission and vision? Why did you guys decide to start this organization? How did that come about? And who are the other co-founders? I think that would be great for folks to learn a little bit more about.
So my name is Ashley Margot. I am one of the co-founders of Latinos in Clinical Research and the senior RSM at a global CRO. LICR is super dear to my heart, as well as the rest of the co-founders and our ambassadors. We definitely created this organization because we saw that there was an issue in representation, and not just in Latinos. It's the full scale for all minorities, right? And so something that we do always mention is that we are stating Latinos in clinical research, but we're open to all ethnicities. We want full diversity and representation. All diversity matters, right? Not just one population. It's everywhere. And so there's that. Our mission, our sole purpose is to increase Latino participation in the clinical research industry. This includes both through the employment as well as through the field, and increasing participation in the clinical trials and reducing disparities overall, right, on all ends. So we're definitely, it's a lot of work to do, but there's definitely a whole lot that comes into what we're doing. Our current focus is providing, bilingual education and informative content monthly to members. We are doing the monthly webinars. We do some side interviews, and usually if they are the bilingual videos, it comes from Monica and Judy, and sometimes with Christine or Cassandra jumping in on those videos, and providing our members with the industry job openings. This is something we definitely want to increase on. And then collaborating with CRO sponsors and vendors to refunnel education back into the community. So utilizing these organizations, these collaborations to come together and help us as an organization bring back to the community.
I think that was really comprehensive in terms of what the organization is doing. And I do want to call out, now that she has her camera on, Monica Cuitiva. So Monica, you are also a co-founder. I would love for you to say hello to the audience we have today, and those that will be listening in the future.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for supporting our mission. As Cassandra was saying before, the importance of the ambassador is somebody that aligns with our mission, somebody that is really thinking about advocating as passionately as we are doing. At the end of the day, this is not just for one person, it's for a whole community.
Definitely. Thank you, Monica. And we see that we have an international audience, which that's the goal. The goal is clinical research. As we know, research is around the globe. It's not just in the United States. So hello to our friends in Latin America and Central America and around the world. Thank you for joining us today. And I'd like to also get Ms. Christine Naro, the brand ambassador, to say hello and share some words. Christine, share to us, for those that are on the line, what has been your experience thus far as an ambassador?
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you, Cass. And Cass is my co-partner as far as ambassadors go. But my experience so far has been extraordinary. I joined Latinos in Clinical Research right in the middle of COVID. And I was selected by Dan. And he was like, hey, we're going to start this new opportunity for Latinos in clinical research. Would you like to join? I said, yes, of course. And honestly, at that time, I was a clinical research coordinator, and I was able to get a clinical research associate job in the medical device industry. And that's really what it's all about, is like propelling yourself forward. So by volunteering with this organization and by opening awareness about Latinos in clinical research, you're not only helping everybody else, but it's also an opportunity for you to grow in your career. And that's what I'm here to speak on and advocate for. Thank you.
That's awesome, Christine. And I do see we have Dan on the line as well, one of the other co-founders. Dan, we know that the Super Bowl just happened in Arizona. Are you alive and well? Can you say hello to those that are joining us?
I can confirm I'm alive and well.
Fantastic. Survived.
After the Super Bowl, I'm still here.
That's great. We saw some folks saying that Arizona was being invaded, so they can't wait for the city to not be as the state to be not as crazy. So
Invaded by tourists, yeah, not by aliens. That's other states.
That's so cool. Well, it's great to see you, and I think the beauty of it is seeing you in action right there on your site, Yuma Clinical Trials in Arizona. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in the organization. We know you're a force to be reckoned with in social circles in terms of just a content creator, just giving back, Dan. I think that's one of the biggest things that we are so appreciative of you is just giving back your content and knowledge. And I think a lot of people respect that. I was at an industry conference just this past week, and when they heard Latinos in clinical research, they were like, yeah, Monica, Judy, Ashley, Chris, Dan. I learned so much from their videos. So thank you to you guys. And Dan, I'll pass it to you to say some words for those that are with us today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm currently in YouTube jail for a week. So we're gonna patiently wait and upload 10 videos on Friday, which is the max they will allow me to upload in one day. But yeah, we started this 2020 and we've been trying. Our mission is really to get more Latinos participating in research studies. And we believe the most practical way to do that is to get Latinos working in the industry, especially at the site level, because that's what's near and dear to my heart and how I started and where I still am at. I'm in the site right now, and that's been our mission and really what drives us, with the hope that, because it's still a theory, but the hope that we can get more Latinos participating in studies because of it. So doing what we can, one site at a time, one community at a time, and we really need everybody, all of the LICR members to help out and raise awareness in their communities.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, Dan. And I'll take it back to you, Ashley. I know you mentioned that we want to get more participation. The organization has grown exponentially, and it's been all organic. It's been a handful of team members that said we have to do something. We have to be change agents and make something happen and not wait for the industry to change. So I think now at the point where the organization is at, it's ready to expand the boots on the ground, those that are willing to advocate and help the organization grow. So for those that are attending today and those that are going to be watching the video later, how can they submit maybe their application to become an ambassador or just volunteer with the organization? How can they get involved?
For sure. Thanks for that. Yeah. So pretty much whether you want to be a brand ambassador or you just want to help in some sort of way, right? This would be the same process. So I will go through the steps right now that y'all are able to see, but ultimately you're going to go on our website. Naturally, you want to subscribe, you want to be a member, right? We do not spam you or anything like that. It is solely letting you know of events or webinars or anything like that or giveaways that we're doing. So please go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed. Two is going to the ambassador section. So let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys to see. All right. So if y'all can see here, we are on the LICR website. You can learn all our information here, watch our video, but here you are going to subscribe if you haven't already become a subscribed member. And then you're going to come under to who we are. So you'll learn about us, right? LIC Corp sponsors, that's etc. But this is where we want you to go to brand ambassadors. So like as I had mentioned, even if you don't want to be a brand ambassador, but you do know there's a way for you to help, feel free to come in here, put your name, information, email, subject, right? Say I'm brand ambassador, or maybe not brand ambassador, but volunteer or something like that, and then put a message if you'd like and submit. What I want you to do, you can state questionnaire if you want, it could be blank, but once you submit this, we will be notified by email. Once you receive your email, we will be sending you an actual questionnaire. In the questionnaire, it's not super detailed, maybe 10 questions, kind of, who you are, your location, current, if you're working, right, what company you're currently working with, what's your job title, so we have an understanding of your background as far as clinical research. If you're not in clinical research yet and you're wanting to, that's perfectly fine too. Don't think that that hinders you. And then, more in detail about, how would you like to assist LICR? Are there ideas that you have, right? We already technically kind of have more or less focus, right? We want our LICR members who get chosen, because we are only going to be taking in a handful first, right? There will continue to be opportunities, but we will be taking in a handful first. And in there, right, you have the opportunity to state, ideas that you possibly have. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine as well. Like I said, once we have chosen those ambassadors, we will have a separate meeting with those chosen ambassadors. You will get an email beforehand just to confirm that you are still open for it. And once we have done that, we will have a meeting. We'll go over all the specifics, right? The overall focus. And as we had mentioned, our current focus is to, do more job posting to bring more opportunity, right? Forefront opportunity to those in clinical research or that are wanting to join. Two is also collaborating with CRO sponsors and vendors. And let me go ahead real quick.
Reference.
Do we have, so sorry.
The company that you work for get reference.
Mute that real quick. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we're muting everybody, you guys. So yeah, so just making sure that we have all that information from you so that it can help us, get an idea as to how you would be assisting us, etc. So be as detailed as possible. And like I said, you want to come down to who we are, brand ambassador, and then name, email, subject, and message if you'd like. Once that happens, we receive it. We will send you the questionnaire, send back the questionnaire as soon as possible. We are leaving it to the end of February for you to respond. So please know that that is the deadline. This recording will be emailed out to everybody who is subscribed. Okay, so just be aware again, if you'd like this recording, and you're not subscribed, please do so. The recording will also be placed back here on the website for anybody else moving forward that would like to view it that isn't already subscribed to the ambassadorship or to the membership. But that's pretty much everything on my end. I don't know, Cass, Christine, anything else you guys would like to add?
I was going to pass it to Christine. Christine, are there any highlights of your experience being an ambassador that you'd like to share? Because I think, there's been good work that's been done in the past couple of years, and I think it'd be fantastic for folks to know what your involvement has been and what are some of the highlights and things that you'd like to share with others to get excited about.
Sure, I'd love to share. So one of the biggest things when you become a brand ambassador is that you have an opportunity to reach out and talk to other people, whether it be sponsors or schools or other people in the industry. And so I've had an opportunity to go speak at a community college and see if they could set up their own program to where they teach students about clinical research. And I saw that they actually did do that. So that was really exciting to see that they took action on it. But also just, bringing more people into the circle so that we could grow and help the industry as a whole.
Thanks, Christine. And Monica, what are you the most excited about for this new year? I know that you've all been putting in a lot of hours behind the scenes to make the organization and get it to where it's at today, but what are some exciting things coming up for 2023? Just big picture, some webinars, just anything else you can share?
Hello, sorry, my can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, well, we're very excited we have many plans that have not yet been released. Many great things are coming. And I think the beauty of having more ambassadors is obviously for the company to expand and for the voice to be amplified, which I think is the most important part of it. Remember that at the end of the day, we are representing the voice of those that are invisible to the rest of the world. So it's a very important and a very it's a big responsibility and a very important piece of our job, right? And by amplifying the voice, we're letting people know about our community. So we have to represent in a way that is like I mentioned before, aligning with the mission and vision that we have, and obviously align with the needs of our community. So we're working really hard in the back of this, of all of this organization. And like I say, we have very good plans, very exciting plans for this year and the following year. So it's a great time to enter in this field. Obviously, this is research, but being part of Latinos in clinical research is being part of research, and at the same time is being part of a movement that is speaking out loud for the different communities, especially our Latino community.
That's great. Thank you, Monica, for sharing. Ashley, I know that there are probably other areas that you'd like to cover. I think one
Yes.
thing is, we are Latinos in clinical research, but we are also, and you're very a strong proponent of that. So I'll let you share a little bit more about that we are open to.
Yeah, so well, just something I did want to kind of jump in real quick with Monica is that, like you said, it's a huge responsibility, sometimes even bigger than what we can physically see, right? And because of that, we do take very big importance on who we're bringing on, right? As I mentioned, we're only taking a handful for now, but we are definitely wanting to ensure that we are representation of diversity on all ends, ages, backgrounds, etc., everything. We want to make sure that there's full representation, because as we are making changes, as we're going forward and making new projects, etc., we want to be able to have representation for all those backgrounds present to speak forward on opinions, so that we have an understanding of not just the co-founders, right, and where we come from. We want to make sure it's a full spectrum. So definitely to make mention of that. I also want to state that because of, as Monica stated, that there are some things that have not yet to be released, which she probably will be announcing within the next month or so. Outside of those big announcements, we are also looking to openly collaborate with bigger organizations as well. So that's something that you will see. We want to bring more resources to the community, right? And so again, that's how kind of a version of what ambassadorship will assist with, right? But outside of LICR, and to help with our full mission, everything we're doing, we do have outside collaborations that work towards, the education of the community, bringing into the workforce. So there's a whole lot that goes into this, much further probably than what we probably showcase often. So being an ambassador, coming in, or being a volunteer, however it is that you would prefer, coming in, you will have exposure to that. You'll start to get to understand the background workings of everything, and ultimately be able and have access to network, right? I do feel like something that I did see Christine and Cass really just expand on, at least from when I first met you guys, was that they just became a super big, started networking like crazy, to the point where, I mean, I honestly feel you guys are out there way more than I am. So, and we all know that with networking, your career changes, right? So, it's not just about LACR, but you are growing in that future. So that part of what benefits as an ambassador, yes, this is non-paid, this is more voluntary, right? But you are gaining access to individuals, you're gaining access to understanding more about your industry outside of just your 9 to 5, right? You're getting to see and have purpose in our mission, to a bigger and greater purpose than it is just you, right? Which sometimes can be a lot and it can be stressful, but it's more rewarding than everything at the end factor. And so we want to make sure that the people that are coming on have that kind of passion and tenacity, because sometimes it is hard, sometimes it is intense, and sometimes we're running loose like everywhere and just trying to figure things out last minute. But these things happen, and we want to make sure we have a team with us that can grow with us in that sense, right? So that's what we're looking for, right? There's going to be more behind that as far as how we break down certain things, but we definitely want to see individuals that are wanting to come in, that know that there's going to be time and effort that needs to be placed, and that they're willing to do this, right? Because again, it's not just about us individually, it's about us as a group and what we bring to the world, because we are the only organization for Latinos, and one of the only two, I think, that in the world that are focused on minorities in clinical research. So that holds a very heavy weight, and we want to make sure that whoever comes can hold that weight and hold it proud, right? So we thank you for your interest, and we're so excited. I do want to say that if for whatever reason you're not the first batch that is chosen, please do not lose interest as we are growing, because we will continue to grow. We will reach back out, right? So, and again, if you can't be an ambassador, if there's still ways you want to assist, we are very much open to that as well, and we're very grateful for that.
I would like to ask something to Cass. Cass, well, both of them, Cassandra and Christine, have been since the very beginning, and we are, very grateful for them. They have been an amazing and a very important part of the organization. Without them, I don't know if it will be the way it is. They have, both of them have been putting a lot of effort to be passionately working for this voice that we're trying to amplify. I would like to ask Cass. Cass came from a different background. She has been working with a vendor. How being a clinical research, Latinos in clinical research ambassador has changed your perspective about clinical research? And on top of that, how has that enriched your career?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I love it. And the spontaneous kind of questions are great too. So I came from the public affairs industry, working on national and international initiatives. So in my career path, I really didn't think clinical research was even in the horizon. So I started off on the language services side, so supporting a lot of life science clients with their language needs, either ICF translations or website localization for their patient recruitment campaigns and things. So I came from an outsider's perspective, and was fortunate enough to be asked to join a team to do e-clinical technology and services for that division. It was all very new. And I think that the one thing that I learned was, number one, you need that community to help you when you're in an area that you're learning and growing and you don't have experience with. The best thing is to be able to reach out, have a network of folks that you can reach out to. So I did basically cold outreach to Ashley Margot because I just looked up Latinos in clinical research and her name popped up, and I said, hi, I'm Cass. Newer to the industry, would love to network with you guys. And then they mentioned the whole mission and vision. But I think number one, I've learned a lot about the importance and the need of educating our community, right? When we grow up, many of us think about, oh, we can be a doctor, we can be a lawyer, we can be a medical professional or a marketing professional. But the clinical research industry was never something that I really aspired to or never thought was even for me. I always thought, well, you either need to be a nurse or a scientist of some sorts to get in the industry. And what I've realized is that no, there are so many different positions and roles within clinical research that it doesn't necessarily have to be with the scientific background per se, right? There are roles in accounting. There are opportunities in human resources for recruiting great talent. There are also roles on the vendor side. If you're a great sales professional, there are opportunities for you there. So I think through Latinos in clinical research, it really opened my mind about all the opportunities that we as Latinos have. And honestly, it was quite interesting to see that not many of us have a seat at the table, decision-making happening at different levels. And I think now with the FDA guidance and what I'm hearing, the buzz from the last industry conference that just ended last week is a lot of folks are saying, what can we do to help change the narrative? What can we do to have a seat at the table for minorities that didn't kind of raise up in the industry and just kind of came at different levels and in different opportunities? So for me, the organization has given me, number one, friends and networking in industry professionals that I would have never thought, number one. Number two, educating myself in terms of how the industry operates and what opportunities are there. And number three, the mission and vision, it's allowing myself in my role to be able to give back, right? Making an impact that's far greater than my job has been a great thing, and having the opportunity to do so through Latinos in clinical research has changed my career path and also changed my outlook on being able to do a good thing in the industry.
Thank you, Cass. That was amazing.
Thank you, Cass.
I definitely want to echo what Monica said. I can say with full confidence that both Christine and Cass, without you guys, there was a lot that probably would not have been done, honestly. True honesty. And that's perfect example, you guys, of what we're looking for, right? We want to not just have ambassadors, we want to have team players, we want to have colleagues, right? Because we all know that each one of us has our own specialty. We have our own strengths, and we bring so much to the table individually, and we want to bring you on and expand, right? The more that we have, the more diversity we bring, the more we can do, and the more, help we can give and make things happen quicker, faster, and more efficiently. So thank you both for everything that you guys do. Seriously, love it always. And for those, for those of you that are interested, I'm just really seeing how many people showed up today, and that's that I know a lot couldn't even attend. It really warms my heart to know that, what we're doing is getting out there. It is making a difference, and to know that there's so many of you out there that want to do this change as well makes me feel really, really great. So I'm so excited to see which ones of you are going to be submitting this application. And like I said, if for whatever reason you are not picked, that does not mean you won't come in the next batch, right? And we'll be having this a little bit more quickly. I know it took a long time for us to open this up. We had to organize and kind of figure out certain things on our end, but this is going to be flowing way more quickly now. And so in the meantime, if you still want to be a volunteer, or if you feel that there's a way to help, anything and everything, we genuinely appreciate it, and excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
I think that's great. On that note, a show of hands for those of you that are live with us now. If you're interested in being an ambassador or volunteer, we'd love to see just a hand raise. No pressure. If not, if you still want to think about it, but I know many of you are here. And while you do that, are there any questions? Great. We see the hands raising. That's amazing.
Awesome.
That's amazing. We'd be happy to take a few questions before we wrap. I think we're wrapping in a few minutes, but we definitely want to value the time. Thank you, everyone, for raising your hand. Any questions from the audience that you'd like either the co-founders or ambassadors to answer for you all? If so, go ahead and take yourself off mute. If not, that's not a problem.
I actually have a very quick question. So I do know that, I know that Black women in clinical research is also a thing that I'm also kind of subscribed to on LinkedIn. So do you guys have, the reason I'm asking this is because I feel like, at least we've seen in government time and time again, when different minority groups come together to amplify and just network with each other, like we get an even more profound impact. Like, do you guys have anything in the works to hopefully collaborate with them?
So with Black women in clinical research, so yeah, we've spoken with Danielle. There's definitely recently Dan has just spoken with her, I think about a week or 2 weeks ago. We are kind of speaking with each other on the back end of things. I know that they are about 1 year older than us, so we're both very, very new, creating our foundations right now and building them. So yeah, there's definitely, I would say, potential as far as doing webinars and things like that. I know that her focus is more towards like mentorship and more on the job end. For us, we also have the part of education. So right now we're trying to figure out how exactly, we're in those beginner stages, right? Trying to figure out how we kind of mesh both of those together and then kind of bring them on. But for now, I do feel that it's definitely more on the vocalization of their organization, as well as there's also another organization too. I think it's Black Research. Dan, I think, do you remember? I think her name's Brittany, the creator. She's more on the education end. So, we've actually brought her on as well, because obviously they're both working on two separate forms that are both of what we're doing. So yeah, I mean, definitely in the future that is something that would be in the works for sure. And thank you for being involved with them as well. I mean, we love to know that we're not just keeping it one-sided, right? We're being diverse through all, and so thank you for bringing that.
Thanks for your question, Jesse. Is there anyone else that has any questions? No, I see some. Okay, great. Well, I think we had a very successful turnout today. Thank you all very much for joining us from around the world. And thanks for saying hello. To those of you that are interested in applying to be an ambassador or even a volunteer, feel free to use the ambassadorship form to submit your interest to the co-founders. We will post this video along with the link to how to get to the form on the Latinos in Clinical Research website. But if you just want to go to latinosinclinicalresearch.com, there is some information there under the brand ambassador tab. But thank you, everyone. Thank you to Ashley. Thank you to Monica. Thank you to Christine and to Dan. We wish you all a wonderful day. And thanks so much for the support. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you,
Hasta
everybody.
luego, nos vemos.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
Bye.
Hasta luego a todos.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.